It's 80,000 years ago. You are sitting in the dust outside a rock shelter on the coast of what will one day be South Africa. The sun is setting. A woman you call your aunt leans close to your mother and speaks in a voice too low for the man across the fire to hear. She is talking about him. Your mother listens. Her face changes. Not in anger, not in disgust, but in recalibration. She is deciding in this moment whether to trust him tomorrow. Why do humans gossip? And why does the thing you do every day, checking what someone posted, reading the comments, asking a friend what they heard, go back further than language itself? This is one of the most misunderstood questions in human history. Because when most people picture gossip, they picture something petty, whispers behind hands, rumors spread to hurt, the lowest form of conversation. The evidence says otherwise. The first humans didn't have laws, no courts, no police, no written contracts. They had something else. The thing you're most embarrassed to admit you do. For 200,000 years, the only way to know whether someone would betray you was to watch them yourself. But you couldn't watch everyone. So you talked. You shared what you saw. You traded information about who could be trusted and who couldn't. This wasn't idle. This was survival. But the strangest part isn't that we did it. The strangest part is what it did to our brains. In 1992, an anthropologist at University College London named Dunbar was studying primates when he found something that shouldn't exist. The human brain has a hard limit. You can maintain stable relationships with about 150 people. Beyond that, you can't track who trusts whom. You can't remember who owes who a favor. The system breaks. But human groups grew past 150, way past. And the tool that let us break through that wall, the tool that let us cooperate in groups of thousands, was gossip. Because gossip does something your eyes can't do. It lets you see around corners. Gossip lets you learn that someone is untrustworthy without having to be betrayed yourself. You don't need to lend your spear to the thief to know he won't return it. Someone else already did, and they told you. This is called indirect reciprocity, and it's the reason human cooperation scaled beyond a single family. Every time you heard something about someone you'd never met, your brain filed it. Trustworthy, dangerous, generous, liar. You were building a map of people, and that map is what made civilization possible. But if gossip built civilization, why are we ashamed of it? The earliest writing we have isn't poetry, it isn't philosophy. It's records of who owed what to whom, administrative tablets from Uruk, 5,000 years old. But alongside those tablets, archaeologists found something else. Personal letters, complaints about neighbors, warnings about business partners who couldn't be trusted. The second thing humans ever wrote down after grain inventory was gossip. In ancient Greece, the symposium, the gathering that produced philosophy and democracy, was also a gossip exchange. In medieval courts, political survival depended on whispers. The word gossip itself comes from godsib, Old English for god sibling. The person trusted with your most intimate information. The engine underneath all of this was harder to name. Gossip wasn't a side effect of having language. It may have been the reason language evolved in the first place. Dunbar's argument was simple. Primates groom each other to maintain bonds. Physical grooming, picking through fur. But as groups grew larger, grooming became too time-consuming. Language replaced it. And the most useful thing to do with language wasn't describe the weather. It was talk about each other. We didn't learn to speak so we could discuss ideas. We learned to speak so we could talk about people. And then a few hundred years ago, something shifted. Gossip had always been local. You gossiped about people in your band, your village, your court. The people you gossiped about were people you might meet. The consequences were real. Reputation spread, and it determined whether you ate. Then the printing press arrived. Then newspapers, then tabloids, then television, then the internet. Gossip stopped being local. You started gossiping about people you'd never meet, people who didn't know your name, people whose reputation you could destroy from a distance with no consequence to yourself. Today you pick up a glass rectangle and read about a stranger's divorce. You watch a reputation collapse in real time. You participate in a system your ancestors built to keep their families alive, but stripped of everything that made it work. Because gossip only functioned when the people talking knew the person being talked about, when consequences were mutual, when the gossiper could be held accountable for being wrong. That's gone now. You can gossip about a stranger on the other side of the planet, and neither of you will ever know the other's name. We didn't invent gossip. We just figured out how to do it to people we'll never meet and called it news.